us on the call this morning. Just wanted to go over it quickly, and we won't take too much of your time. Just wanted to review quickly the plans for the upcoming ISC West show here next week and give you a chance to see what we are planning on talking about. So as you know, our theme has always been our 4 key selling points were easy to use. We are a unified solution, very flexible, and an open architecture. You'll see that displayed throughout what we're doing this week at the show, or next week at the show, and you'll see those things reflected there. So a couple of logistical things. We are in booth 21117. Pretty good position. We're a little bit farther back in the hall, but we're pretty centered. We are also going to be in the iPro booth, iPro camera booth in 10037. We'll have a kiosk there with a demo going on. So it's a great opportunity for us to get more involved with the iPro brand. We are excited for that partnership and that relationship. We see a lot of good coming out of that. And the opportunity is growing rapidly. We will have a pre-show booth meeting or a walkthrough on Tuesday afternoon at 3:30. For the reps who are able to attend, please try to add that to your schedule. And then each day in the morning, we'll have a booth meeting at 9:15 to give us a chance to talk about what happened the day before, what's coming up that particular day, and review where we're at. We will have a kiosk in the center of the booth this year. And that is going to be mainly a reception area. So we'll have an opportunity to scan all attendees. We want to be sure to get as many attendees, get all the attendees scanned. And there's an opportunity to add notes so we can follow up properly with anybody that happens to stop by and make sure that they get the information they need and that we answer all their questions. Usually the booth meetings are pretty short. People drop in for a few minutes and they're kind of on their way. The scanning of the attendees and getting the notes will allow us to follow up and get really good time with those folks and make sure that we follow up properly. There is a booth meeting calendar for the employees who are on the call. And there's the link. You can see it. I've shared it with the salespeople. So if anybody wants to set a booth meeting, all you have to do is go to that link, and it'll give you an opportunity to set a meeting in the booth. Any of the reps that want to set a meeting with one of your customers, please do so via the calendar link. The booth layout this year is actually a 20 by 20, so it's a little bit larger than what's shown on the left here. But it's basically the same as been in the past. There's a back counter, 2 kiosks. One kiosk will have on the back side of it access control. The other 3 sides will be dedicated to video. And then again, a reception counter in the middle. We have completely redone the backdrop with a new graphic, as you can see there on the right-hand side. It gives us a little bit more vibrant look and a little refresh to the booth as it appears to the attendees. So some of the new features we're going to be talking about: the camera-based analytics. This is great. Dan will show you this here in just a minute. This has been a real push for us, and the engineering team's done a great job of getting this pulled together in time for the show and make it release. It is a product that's out in production today, so you can get this feature now. There is also single sign-on or Active Directory will show integration with our partner, our sister company Rossler, with their panel and their readers. Lockdown immunity is a new feature, the red card feature, to be able to lock down a site and then give access to responding LEO, law enforcement, as they come on site without having to pull the system or the entire site out of lockdown. We will have a deep perception demo. This is the ability to give the same analytic treatment to cameras that are not necessarily analytic cameras. So it's a way to take an existing system and upgrade and give them the ability to do analytics. And we'll also be talking about our price model changes and our updates. Probably not too much in the booth, but that will be available to us. 2 other integrations that we're working on, they're kind of in beta phase. One of them is the Halo sensor, a great tool for a number of different ways to evaluate what's going on in your environment. And then the Alcatraz AI facial reader integration will be showing that as well. Alcatraz facial AI, if you haven't seen it, is a really advanced way to use facial recognition in access control. So a great reader will show that there at the show as well. I want to give Dan a chance to kind of show the analytics real quick. I know some of you have seen it, but kind of give you a chance to see it once more. So I'll stop my share here, Dan, and let you jump on and do what you do.
Can you see that?
Yes.
All right. All right. So I think hopefully everybody has seen this before. I'm going to go onto our try site here. Everybody's been there. To get to the analytics, you come to the search page. You always have this, our traditional search where we search for events on doors and motion. That's all still the same as it's been. We've got a little more context to what the event looks like if you haven't played with this. But to do the analytics, there's another tab up here at the top called the analytics search, and you can see it presents the data in more of a grid. And then when we click on one of these things, it'll pop up the video like before. But this is a continuous scrolling view of all the analytics that have been detected by the cameras on this try environment. If you want to know, there's a lot of cameras that do analytics that we've got available here. Some of them more capable than others. We use the ONVIF Profile M, which is metadata standard to retrieve the analytics from the cameras. We've been focusing, as Bill mentioned at the start, iPro, trying to grow that relationship, and their cameras do a nice job with analytics. In fact, they had a product called the Active Guard, and we kind of patterned a lot of our UI to replicate features of Active Guard, only hopefully doing it easier and more intuitively than what they did, and with better setup. So this is the list of cameras that are capable of producing analytics. If you want to filter by a camera, you can check it here, and it'll filter by camera. That name will fill in. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to filter this down by what I'm interested in looking at. So I have done a little preparation on the try site. Our building is limited in the number of cameras we can put outside. We just got some new cameras in, some of which are outdoor. We've grabbed some of those. They're going out to ISC. But I'm hopeful that after ISC, we'll be able to get some better cameras for vehicle detection. So for now, I like the human detection, so I can choose. So let me first, before I put those attributes in, I'm just going to search for all the humans that the cameras think they found, and that narrows our list down a little bit. This icon here shows that the camera is telling us that it thinks it saw a human. Still, a lot of data there may not get us what we want, so we can come in and choose attributes to narrow down what we're searching for. This list that gets populated is a dynamic list that will grow as new analytics come in. We add them to this menu, so you'll be able to choose them. I find Topps color is one that gets me some good results. So I'm going to choose red here as the color of the top. Now, what you'll find is, these cameras are, especially the iPro ones, are pretty verbose in telling you what they think they saw. So we can use this additional control here that I only want to search for when the camera thinks that somebody has a red top on, but it's reasonably confident. I'll set it to 60% to start with. So sometimes you may see 20% values, and I like to set it up to something that's reasonable here. So when I search on that, then I do get a much more refined search for, looks like 2 people were in the office yesterday wearing red shirts. So Jeff Meeks was one, and this guy who's an office mate across from us. So I can click on that result, and you can see where's the one that I clicked on. Be highlighted here somewhere. Sorry, let's try. Oh, there it is. I clicked on this. It's pretty interesting because you can see that it got a pretty good result. This is a wide angle view of the office, and he's walking down the aisle right there. So in a pretty noisy scene, it was able to find this guy and highlight him as something that I could look at. And we can then go to, if you want to see better, we can go to full screen and do the digital PTZ, and really, after he's been identified by the analytic, then we can do our normal thing and see what the guy's been up to. And like I say, this list over here is all the attributes. So in this scene, this guy was, the camera thought he had a red top on with 72% probability. So we get that list of what the camera thinks it's found. So we can use these attributes to potentially go back and narrow down our search even more. If we were looking for him in particular, we might zoom in on brown trousers or something like that to be a little more specific in where we find them. So yeah, that's really the gist of it. I did want to show on our develop environment, we've got a couple of cameras that they point out the window. I don't like to show them because the reflections at night are bad. They point out the window when there's some lights in the office, so they do get they do get reflections. But we can do a similar thing with vehicle with a proper setup. And here a looking for a you saw all the results. If I don't search on anything, I get this a pretty massive view of a lot of different analytics that these cameras think they might have seen. But when I narrow it down to a fairly confident result in red, I get a much more limited view of this red truck that's out in the parking lot. So the vehicle works, the human works, face detection are things that we find. And I think that is the brief analytics demo. I obviously, for those who are going to be in the booth, we'll get this set up and kind of work through some pre-canned ways to demo that, so it shows well at the show when we get there. All
Great.
right, back to you, Bill.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. Yeah, real quick. We'll have a really nice setup of this at the show. You'll be able to see whatever a bunch of different cameras and all the different features that we have going. We'll be talking a little bit about our next generation gateways. We got some faster CPUs, a little bit higher capacity, trying to reduce the number of SKUs in our offering as well, to get a lower per camera cost because we'll have higher capacity. So a few more standard configurations. We expect to release these around the 1st of May. But we will talk about that at the show as well. And then of course our relationship with iPro, we keep advancing that all the time. We will be at the iPro National Sales Event in May. And then we are working with them to put in place some opportunity to resell the iPro cameras through Qumulex. They won't be branded initially, but we will look at that in the future. But we will have the ability to sell the iPro cameras directly to our customer base as a part of a package. So really excited about that. Camera to cloud coming pretty soon. We're making some great progress there. You'll see that probably later this summer, early fall, somewhere around there. We'll begin to talk more and more about that. And then finally, Qumulex is being sold now through Jenny and ScanSource, the 2 primary iPro distribution sources. So if you have customers who are working with those 2 distributors now, you can let them know that they'll be able to get Qumulex through that source as well. Just a couple of quick updates. The demo site's being constantly improved. Analytics is being added. The information about, I'm sorry, displaying cameras from multiple partners. We do have a specific iPro scope that we can show. So you know, opportunity to have just the iPro cameras in a demonstration if you want for a customer who is particularly interested, or if iPro brings us a deal. We're updating some certification training. We're working on that to get that up to date and get analytics added as quickly as we can. We don't have that quite done yet, but we're working on that as well. So that's basically it. I can open up for questions, I believe. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. Yeah, maybe I can here. Hang on just a second. Yeah, there we go. Anybody have any questions? I got a couple reps here, and anything we've seen so far. Why not I unmute? I guess I should unmute you. Why can't I do that? Well, I'm sorry, I can't seem to unmute you. So I know Craig and Mike.
use if you type in the chat or the Q&A, we can answer anything.
Yeah, if you have questions there as well. So
I do not see any open questions at this point.
yeah, I don't either. So okay, well, we'll give you your time back. Thanks for attending. I appreciate your time. We'll look forward to see you at the show. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, or will cameras be sold direct from Qumulex or through? Actually, Mike, we will sell iPro cameras through Qumulex, direct from Qumulex, to specific customers. We don't want to get in a competition with our ScanSource partners or our Jenny partners, but where we do have direct customers who would like to have a package, we can sell the iPro cameras directly to them. So, hope that answered your question. All right, I'll give you the rest of your day back. Thanks for attending, and look forward to seeing you at the show. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.